Roman Reigns WarGames 5th member YouTube script. Are you kidding me right now? After everything that's happened, after all the betrayals, after all the bloodshed, after Roman Reigns put Cody Rhodes through hell for years, WWE actually expects us to believe they're just going to shake hands and be buddies for WarGames. This is either the most brilliant long-term storytelling we've seen in decades, or it's WWE spitting in our faces and hoping we're stupid enough to forget everything that's happened. And I'm about to tell you exactly why this decision has the wrestling world ready to explode. But first, answer me this in the comments: do you trust Roman Reigns? Because if you do, you haven't been paying attention, and you're about to get your heart broken again. Friday Night SmackDown just dropped a bombshell that nobody saw coming, and I mean nobody. The 5th member of Team Cody for WarGames has been revealed, and it's the one man who has tormented, manipulated, and destroyed more lives in WWE than anyone else in recent memory. The Tribal Chief. The head of the table. The man who held the WWE Championship hostage for over 1,300 days. Roman Reigns. Let that sink in for a second. Roman Reigns. Teaming with Cody Rhodes. The same Cody Rhodes whose WrestleMania dreams he crushed twice. The same Cody Rhodes he beat down with the bloodline week after week after week. The same Cody Rhodes whose family he disrespected on live television. They want us to believe these two are just going to coexist. And it gets even worse. CM Punk is on this team too. The same CM Punk who's been volatile, unpredictable, and ready to fight anyone at any moment. You're telling me Punk is just going to hold hands with Roman Reigns, the guy who represents everything corporate about WWE? The guy who's been handed opportunity after opportunity while Punk had to fight and claw for every single thing he's gotten? This is madness. This is chaos. And WWE is betting everything that we're invested enough to see where this absolute powder keg of a situation is going to explode. Let's rewind and talk about how we got here, because the journey to this moment has been insane. Team Cody was looking desperate. They needed a 5th member. They needed someone with the credibility, the power, and the presence to stand toe-to-toe with whoever Solo Sikoa has assembled for his version of the bloodline. Names were thrown around. Kevin Owens seemed like the obvious choice until, well, he wasn't. Seth Rollins was dealing with his own issues. Randy Orton's been floating around but hasn't committed. Every option seemed to have problems. Every potential teammate seemed to have baggage or unavailability. And then the unthinkable happened. Paul Heyman, the wise man himself, the special counsel to Roman Reigns, appeared on SmackDown. And when Heyman shows up, you know something massive is about to go down. This man doesn't waste his words. Every syllable that comes out of his mouth is calculated, strategic, and designed to shift the power dynamics of the entire WWE landscape. Heyman stood in that ring, and you could feel the electricity in the arena. People knew something big was coming, but nobody predicted what happened next. He talked about legacy. He talked about the bloodline. He talked about family. And then he dropped the bomb that sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling world. Roman Reigns was coming back. And he was joining Team Cody for WarGames. The crowd went nuclear. And I mean, people lost their minds. Because love him or hate him, and trust me, there are plenty of people in both camps, Roman Reigns is the biggest star WWE has produced in the last decade. His presence alone elevates everything around him to another level. But here's where I need you to stop and think for a second. Why? Why is Roman doing this? What's his angle? Because if you believe Roman Reigns is doing anything out of the goodness of his heart, then I've got a bridge to sell you. Roman Reigns doesn't make moves unless they benefit Roman Reigns. That's been his character for years. Everything he does is calculated to maintain his power, his position, his status as the tribal chief. So what's the real reason he's inserting himself into this WarGames match? Drop your theories in the comments right now, because this is the question that's driving people insane online. Let me give you some possibilities, and some of these are going to make you angry, but they need to be said. Theory number 1: Roman wants to destroy Solo Sikoa and reclaim the bloodline. This one actually makes sense on the surface. Solo has taken over the bloodline in Roman's absence. He's crowned himself the tribal chief. He's assembled his own group with Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. He's essentially erased Roman's legacy and built his own empire. For someone with Roman's ego, that's unacceptable. Solo needs to be put in his place, and WarGames is the perfect opportunity for Roman to send a message: there's only one tribal chief, and it's not Solo Sikoa. But here's the problem with that theory. If Roman just wanted to destroy Solo, he could do it on his own terms, on his own timeline. Why team up with Cody Rhodes? Why put himself in a position where he has to rely on others? That's not the Roman Reigns we know. Theory number 2, and this is where things get controversial: Roman is playing the long game, and everyone on Team Cody is about to get screwed. Think about it. Roman joins the team. He gains their trust, or at least their reluctant cooperation. They go into WarGames together. And at the critical moment, when everything is on the line, Roman turns on them. He costs them the match. He hands Solo and the new bloodline the victory. and he reveals that it was all a setup from the beginning. Roman wasn't there to help Cody. He was there to destroy him one more time and prove that Cody will never escape his shadow. How absolutely devastating would that be? Can you imagine the heat Roman would get? Can you imagine how nuclear the crowd would go if Roman hits Cody with a Superman punch in the middle of WarGames and walks out? But wait, there's a theory number 3 that might be even more twisted. Roman is using this situation to manipulate everyone. He doesn't care about helping Cody. He doesn't care about destroying Solo. He only cares about positioning himself back at the top of WWE by any means necessary. By joining Team Cody, he's inserting himself into the biggest storyline in the company. He's making himself essential to the narrative. And when WarGames is over, regardless of who wins, Roman is going to leverage the position to get exactly what he wants: a title shot, main event status, and the power to control his own destiny. That's the Roman Reigns special. He doesn't play checkers while everyone else plays chess. He's playing 4D chess while everyone else is still trying to figure out the rules. Which theory do you believe? Or do you have your own? Tell me in the comments because I want to hear every wild idea you've got. Now let's talk about the dynamics of this team, because this might be the most dysfunctional group of teammates in WarGames history. You've got Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the WWE Champion, the babyface leader who represents everything good and honorable about wrestling. He's the hero of this story, the man who finished his story at WrestleMania. Then you've got CM Punk, the anti-hero, the rebel, the guy who does things his way regardless of what anyone thinks. Punk doesn't play by the rules. Punk doesn't care about making friends. Punk cares about winning and proving he's the best in the world. Add in whoever else is on this team, whether it's guys like LA Knight, someone from NXT, or surprise returners, and you already have a complicated situation. Now you throw Roman Reigns into that mix. Roman, who's spent years establishing himself as the alpha, the leader, the head of the table. Roman, who demands acknowledgement and respect from everyone around him. Roman, who's never been comfortable playing second fiddle to anyone. How is Cody supposed to lead this team when Roman's presence is going to overshadow everything? How is Punk supposed to coexist with Roman when their philosophies are completely opposite? How is anyone supposed to trust Roman when his entire career has been built on manipulation and betrayal? This isn't a team. This is a ticking time bomb waiting to explode, and WWE is going to make us watch every single second until it detonates. Let me ask you this: who should be the leader of this team? Cody because he's the champion? Roman because he's the most accomplished? Punk because he's the smartest? Drop your answer below. Here's what's making fans absolutely furious online, and I need to address this because it's a legitimate criticism: is WWE disrespecting Cody Rhodes by making him share the spotlight with Roman again? Think about what Cody's been through. He left WWE, became one of the biggest stars in independent wrestling, helped found AEW, came back to WWE, and finally won the WWE Championship after years of struggle. He earned that top spot. He earned the right to be the guy. But now, just months into his championship reign, here comes Roman Reigns swooping in to steal his thunder again. It's WrestleMania all over again. It's Roman's spotlight being prioritized over Cody's story. Some fans are saying this is classic WWE, pushing their chosen one at the expense of everyone else. They're saying that Cody will never truly be the top guy as long as Roman is around. They're saying this is going to end with Roman taking the championship from Cody eventually. And you know what? They might be right. WWE has a history of this. They build up a babyface, give them a great moment, and then immediately start the process of transitioning back to their established stars. It's frustrating, it's predictable, and it's infuriating for fans who want to see someone new truly get their time to shine. But here's the counterargument, and I want you to consider this carefully: maybe this is exactly what Cody needs to prove he belongs in Roman's league. Roman Reigns has been the measuring stick for WWE success for years. To truly establish yourself as the top guy, you need to stand shoulder to shoulder with Roman and prove you're his equal. You need to share a ring with him, work alongside him, and show that you can handle the pressure and presence that Roman brings. If Cody can navigate this WarGames situation, if he can lead this team with Roman on it, if he can prove he's not intimidated or overshadowed by the tribal chief, that's when everyone will truly acknowledge that Cody Rhodes is the undisputed top star of WWE. So which perspective do you agree with? Is this disrespectful to Cody, or is this his opportunity to prove himself? Let me know. Let's talk about CM Punk for a second, because his role in all of this is fascinating. Punk has been on fire since his return to WWE. He's been cutting incredible promos, having amazing matches, and reminding everyone why he's one of the greatest of all time. But Punk's relationship with Roman is complicated. They've never been particularly close. They've never really worked together extensively. They come from different eras and different philosophies of what WWE should be. Punk is the guy who famously ripped apart WWE's corporate structure in his pipe bomb promo. He's the guy who walked out when he felt disrespected. He's the guy who does things his way or no way at all. Roman is the company's chosen one. He's the corporate champion who was groomed for stardom. He's the guy who played the game, worked within the system, and became the face of the company. How are these two going to function in the same space? How is Punk going to react when Roman tries to take control? How is Roman going to handle Punk's unpredictability and unwillingness to follow orders? My prediction? We're going to see at least one confrontation between Punk and Roman before WarGames even happens. There's no way these two massive egos exist on the same team without butting heads. And honestly, I'm here for it. That tension, that conflict, that's what makes wrestling interesting. Do you think Punk and Roman will actually get along? Or are they going to clash? Comment below. Now let's discuss the opponents, because WarGames isn't just about who's on your team, it's about who you're fighting. Solo Sikoa's bloodline has been dominant since taking over SmackDown. Solo, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu have been destroying everyone in their path. Jacob Fatu especially has been an absolute monster. If you've been sleeping on Jacob Fatu, wake up. This man is special. He moves like a cruiserweight but hits like a super heavyweight. He's doing moonsaults at 300 pounds. He's one of the most exciting big men in wrestling today. And that's the team that Roman, Cody, Punk, and whoever else have to face in the unforgiving structure of WarGames. 2 rings, 1 cage, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Just pure warfare. But here's what's got people speculating: who's the 5th member of Solo's team? Because they've got Solo, Tama, Tonga, and Jacob. That's 4. WarGames requires 5 per team. So who's the mystery member? Is it someone from Roman's past? Could it be someone Roman thought was loyal to him? Is it a shocking debut or return? The possibilities are endless, and WWE is keeping this secret tight. Who do you think is the 5th member of the Bloodline team? Give me your wildest predictions. Let me talk about Paul Heyman for a minute, because his role in this entire situation cannot be understated. Heyman is the puppet master. He's the one pulling strings behind the scenes. He's the one who orchestrated Roman's return and his joining of Team Cody. But whose side is Heyman really on? Is he loyal to Roman? Is he working his own angle? Is he playing both sides against each other for his own benefit? Heyman's allegiances have always been questionable. He's betrayed people before. He's switched sides when it benefited him. He's the ultimate opportunist who always manages to land on his feet. What if Heyman is the real villain in this story? What if he's manipulating both Roman and Solo for some larger scheme that we haven't figured out yet? What if WarGames is just the beginning of Heyman's master plan? I'm telling you, keep your eyes on Paul Heyman, because he's the key to understanding where this storyline is really going. Let's talk about what happens after WarGames, because that's what everyone's really wondering. If Team Cody wins with Roman's help, what does that mean for the power structure in WWE? Does Roman demand a title shot from Cody? Does Roman expect acknowledgement and loyalty from everyone he helped? And what about CM Punk? If they win together, does that create an alliance? Does that create a new faction that could dominate WWE for months? Or does the victory just expose all the cracks and tensions that were barely held together during the match? Now, what if they lose? What if Solo and the new bloodline win WarGames? That would be catastrophic for everyone on Team Cody. Cody's leadership would be questioned. Roman's aura of invincibility would be damaged. Punk's credibility would take a hit. It would shift the entire landscape of WWE. And here's the scary part: a loss might be more interesting storytelling than a win. Because a loss forces these characters to confront their failures, their egos, and their relationships with each other. A loss creates drama in ways that a clean victory never could. What do you want to see? Team Cody winning or losing? Tell me why in the comments. Here's something that's been bothering me, and I need to get this off my chest: is WWE sacrificing long-term storytelling for short-term shock value? Roman joining Team Cody is shocking. It's unexpected. It's going to generate massive interest in WarGames. But does it make sense given everything that's happened? Are we supposed to just forget years of history because WWE wants a big moment? This is the constant struggle with modern wrestling. We want surprises and unpredictability, but we also want logical storytelling that respects continuity and history. We want to be shocked, but we also want things to make sense. WWE is walking a tightrope here. If they can explain Roman's motivations in a way that feels authentic and logical, this could be one of the best storylines in recent memory. But if they just throw these people together without proper justification, it's going to feel hollow and manipulative. So far, WWE has been cooking with their storylines this year. The Bloodline saga has been consistently excellent. Cody's championship reign has been compelling. Punk's return has exceeded expectations. They've earned some benefit of the doubt. But that doesn't mean we should blindly trust them. We should hold WWE accountable for delivering on the promise of this setup. We should demand that Roman's involvement makes sense within the larger narrative. We should expect payoffs that justify the buildup. Do you trust WWE to deliver a satisfying conclusion to this story? Or are you worried they're going to drop the ball? Be honest in the comments. Let's talk about the historical significance of this moment. WarGames has a legendary history. The original WarGames matches in WCW and NWA are considered some of the greatest matches ever. The brutality, the storytelling, the stakes, everything about WarGames is designed to create iconic moments. WWE bringing back WarGames has been incredible for fans who remember the original matches. And now, having Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk in the same WarGames match? That's the kind of star power that creates legendary moments. This match has the potential to be talked about for decades. This match has the potential to define careers and create moments that will be replayed forever. This is the kind of match that could main event Survivor Series and absolutely deliver on every level. But it also has the potential to disappoint if not handled correctly. The expectations are sky high. Fans are expecting something special, something memorable, something that lives up to the hype. If WWE doesn't deliver, the backlash will be severe. On a scale of 1 to 10, how high are your expectations for this WarGames match? Let me know. Here's a controversial take that's going to make some of you angry. Roman Reigns doesn't need to be in this match. Team Cody was fine without him. They could have found another fifth member and told a perfectly good story. Roman's inclusion is about WWE wanting to stack the deck and guarantee massive interest. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that from a business perspective. WWE is in the business of making money and drawing viewers. Having Roman Reigns in WarGames is going to do both of those things incredibly well. But from a storytelling perspective, from a creative perspective, it feels like WWE is taking the easy way out instead of doing the harder work of building up other stars to fill that role. It feels like they're going back to the well of Roman Reigns solves everything instead of trusting their other talent. This is the eternal WWE struggle. They have all this incredible talent on their roster, but they keep going back to the same few names over and over again. When will someone like LA Knight get that opportunity? When will someone from NXT get that main event spotlight? I'm not saying Roman shouldn't be involved. I'm saying WWE should be doing more to create new stars instead of constantly relying on their established names. The future of the company depends on it. Do you think WWE relies too much on Roman Reigns? Or is he still the best option for these big matches? Tell me your thoughts. Let me paint a picture for you of what this WarGames match could look like. Imagine the cage lowering around those two rings. Imagine the entrance countdown as each member enters the match in timed intervals. Imagine the strategies, the alliances, and the inevitable betrayals. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu going to war inside that cage? That's money. CM Punk using his intelligence to outsmart the bloodline? That's compelling. Cody Rhodes proving he's the rightful leader by orchestrating a victory? That's storytelling. But also imagine the possibilities for chaos. Imagine Roman hitting Cody with a spear just as they're about to win. Imagine Punk abandoning the team when things get tough. Imagine someone on the Bloodline team being a secret ally of Roman's all along. WarGames allows for so many different storytelling possibilities, and with this cast of characters, the potential for memorable moments is unlimited. This could be an absolute masterpiece if WWE executes it correctly. What's your dream spot or moment for this WarGames match? Share your creative ideas below. Here's what I think is going to happen, and you can hold me to this prediction. I think Team Cody is going to win WarGames, but it's not going to be clean and it's not going to solve anything. I think there are going to be multiple moments during the match where it looks like the team is going to fall apart. I think Roman and Punk are going to have at least one moment where they almost come to blows. I think Cody is going to have to play peacekeeper while also trying to fight the bloodline. I think that victory is going to come from a place of reluctant cooperation rather than true unity. And after the match, I think the real story begins. I think we're going to see the fractures in Team Cody become full-blown divisions. I think we're going to see Roman make his play for power. I think we're going to see Punk do something unpredictable that changes everything. This isn't just about WarGames. This is about setting up storylines that will carry WWE through Royal Rumble season and into WrestleMania. This is about creating conflicts that will define the next several months of programming. Do you agree with my prediction? Or do you think something completely different is going to happen? Let's discuss. One more thing I need to address, the social media meltdown that happened when this was announced. Twitter absolutely exploded. Wrestling fans were posting their reactions, their theories, their anger, their excitement, everything. Some people were thrilled, calling this the most exciting WarGames setup ever. Others were furious, saying WWE is ruining Cody's reign. Some were skeptical, waiting to see if WWE can pull it off. The division among fans is real and it's intense. And that's exactly what WWE wants. They want people talking, debating, arguing, speculating. That engagement translates to viewers, which translates to ticket sales, which translates to money. WWE has mastered the art of creating conversation, and this Roman Reigns reveal is a masterclass in generating buzz. Whether you love it or hate it, you're talking about it. And that means WWE has already won before the match even happens. Final question for you: will you be watching WarGames at Survivor Series? And what's the one thing that would make this match perfect for you? Share your thoughts. This Roman Reigns situation is the biggest talking point in wrestling right now. It's controversial, it's exciting, it's unpredictable, and it's must-see television. Whether this is genius booking or a disaster waiting to happen, we're all going to tune in to find out. So smash the like button if you're hyped for Roman in WarGames. Hit subscribe to Wrestling Newsletter because we're covering every development in this storyline. And get in those comments with your theories, predictions, and opinions because this is the conversation the entire wrestling world is having right now.